Wait, hang on. Sorry, let me double check this. So for 10,000 miles, it's only going to cost me... Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first video. Today we're going to be talking about why I think the Tesla Model 3 is pretty much a must buy now if you're looking for a new daily. And I'm going to go through the 5 reasons why I think that, and you can form your own opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with the big one, the elephant in the room, and that is price. When the Model 3 first came to the UK, they retailed for about £39,000, and that was for the base model with sort of no optional extras. Nowadays, you can find them for as low as £12,000. I actually found a couple just under that. These are obviously very high mileage examples, but for even sort of a reasonable mileage one of about 60,000 miles, they're about 16 grand, which when you compare the original price of 39k to that, it's a hell of a lot of car for the money and great value. Next up is fuel, well, power I guess. We'll go with power. So in my opinion, the key to EV ownership is actually being able to charge it at home. If you're going to be relying on the national charging network, it's just going to end up costing you so much more, and it's probably very close to actually just running a normal petrol or diesel car. So if you can charge from home, that's great, and we're already on to a winner. If you are going to be charging at home, really make sure that you're going to be using an EV tariff. A lot of suppliers these days actually offer EV tariffs. A few years ago it wasn't that common, but just make sure you have a quick check that your supplier does so before you go down the route of buying an EV. It's kind of the last thing you want to deal with is moving suppliers around and faffing about with that when you just got a brand new car. So talking about EV tariffs, what actually is an EV tariff? So as an example, I'm with Octopus, and on a standard rate with them, they charge about 22.5p per kilowatt hour, and that's 24 hours a day. So no matter what I'm using, that's the price I pay per kilowatt hour. So if you were to charge a Model 3, which has a 60 kilowatt hour battery from 0 to 100%, that's going to cost you about £14. And if you assume a mileage of about 240 miles off that charge, that equates to about 5p a mile, which is still really good value. But with Octopus's EV tariff, you're able to get a much cheaper rate at night. So between the hours of midnight and 5:30 a.m, you can charge your car for 7p a kilowatt hour rather than the standard 22.5. So if you assume the same charge cycle for the Model 3 of 60 kilowatt hours, it's only going to cost you £4.20 rather than £14. To put that in perspective, if you drive 10,000 miles a year in a standard internal combustion engine car, it's going to cost you on average about 24.5p per mile, which doesn't sound a lot to begin with, but when you add that up, that's £2,500 a year, which for fuel is just bonkers. If you compare that to the Model 3, for 10,000 miles a year, it's only going to cost you £175. That's a saving of over £2,300. Think about what you could spend that on. Don't think about it right now. Keep watching the video. And look, I know that's down to using a specific tariff rate and only charging it at a certain time and being able to charge at home. But as an example, that just shows you what you can save with an EV. Now that alone should make you consider the car, but we're not done yet. Obviously this isn't sponsored by Octopus, but I do really recommend their EV tariff. If you're interested in signing up to Octopus, use my referral link in the comments below, or if I can put it up here, I will do somewhere. And if you sign up, you'll get a £50 credit on your account. Who doesn't like free money? So next up is car tax. Right now the Tesla Model 3 is 0 rated for car tax. You don't have to pay a penny. And that's the same for all EVs, but unfortunately that is changing from the 1st of April 2025. It's then going to go into the standard rate that all cars are subject to and have been subject to since 2017, so it's £190 a year. However, it's not all doom and gloom. I do have a little tip for you. So if you renew your tax just before the 1st of April, i.e. cancelling what your car's already taxed at, which not ordinarily would result in a penalty, but it's only a percentage of the amount paid, and in this case it's 0, so there's no penalty technically. If you untax your car and retax it just before the 1st of April, i.e. on the 30th or the 31st of March, you'll then retax and have an entire year of tax-free until about March 2026. So it's just an easy way of extending that for another year. The more you know. Saves you 190 quid, why not? Next up is the charging network. Now, there's always a lot of bad press about the charging network in the UK, and rightly so sometimes. Some people say it's not fit for purpose, there's not enough space, they don't work, they don't want to queue, etc. But I will give Tesla their credit where it's due, and the supercharger network is by far the most superior in the UK. There's a reason manufacturers are paying quite a lot of money to Tesla to gain access to this network. Charging rates are a lot more reasonable on the Tesla network. For Tesla owners in particular, you get a preferential rate of about 26p per kilowatt hour. So that's not too far off what you pay on a standard rate with your house. Compare that to the national average, which is about 57p per kilowatt hour. It's a considerable difference if you need to charge up the whole car. As well as price, Tesla also has the most chargers in the UK. As at April this year, they had 1,440 locations. So, if you're unable to charge at home on the odd occasion, you can rest easy with Tesla. You're not going to suffer any range anxiety, and you're not going to get ripped off either. Next up is a combination of things. It's on warranty, maintenance, and battery degradation. Let's start with maintenance. Now, if you take consumables out of the equation, like brakes, brake pads, and tyres, there's really not much to it. From a look at the Tesla service schedule, there's a brake fluid change every 4 years and a pollen filter change every 2. Like with any car though, treat maintenance as preventative, and even with the EVs, do the work earlier than it's needed and you should be okay. Now I'm sure a lot of you watching this are going, what about the battery though? The battery is definitely the biggest fear with EVs because they're incredibly expensive to repair and they do naturally degrade over time, but we'll get to that in a minute. To put your mind slightly at ease, Tesla offer a specific warranty in respect to the batteries and drive unit, the most expensive bits of these cars, and that's for 8 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes soonest. They also guarantee a minimum battery capacity of 70% during that period, so that should give you a little bit more comfort. As an example then, if you were to buy a car that's 4 years old and had 40,000 miles on the clock, you can either get another 4 years out of that warranty or another 60,000 miles. I feel Tesla actually performs pretty well compared to some of its competitors when it comes to battery degradation. I've seen some quite shocking results from other manufacturers, and Tesla just seems to be quite consistent across the board. There is obviously some difference if you're just constantly fast charging these cars. If you fast charge them all the time, the battery will degrade lower, but that's the same for everyone. I recently came across a YouTuber called Bjorn Nyland. I really hope I've not butchered that, but I'll link his channel below. And his channel is just dedicated to him testing EVs out in respect of charging cycles, battery degradation, range, all that kind of stuff. And he's pulled together a database through his channel. So, if you want to have a quick look at that, go explore and see what you think. So there you have it, guys. That's why I think you should be considering a Tesla Model 3 right now. And look, I know these cars don't suit everyone's lifestyles and they're just generally not for everyone. And a lot of people are going to be combustion engine till they die, and that's totally fine. But you can't argue with the fact that these cars are now incredibly good value for money at, a good mileage one around £16,000, cheap to run when you use the appropriate tariffs and don't use supercharging networks all the time, and, they're cheap to tax for now. So I don't really know what else you'd want from a daily. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give the thumbs up button a little slap for me. It does help with the channel. Subscribe if you aren't already, and as always, if there's anything you want to see on the channel more of, do drop it in the comments below, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. See you guys. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching this are going, but what about the battery? What if the battery goes? The battery!